Hello, amazing viewers. Good day to you all. Thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. The Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, just raised concern. The same concern that David Hundeyi just raised a few days ago about, a strategic plan and all that ahead of 2027. The the Human Rights Association, they call themselves HURIWA. So I'm going to be using their acronym from now. So they are saying that the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and INEC, that they are making, they have already begun strategic plan, on how to rig the election. So they are calling on Nigerians to actually rise up, and prepare themselves ahead of 2027. Now, part of what they raised in the report I'm going to read out to you shortly, as being carried out by one of the media houses, is that right from the inception of what is it called? The Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, the changing or the appointment of APC members as INEC commissioners or whatsoever, or rec in states, is part of the strategy to help rig the election come 2027. Now, I'm going to read out what part of what was reported before we talk about this further. But before then, let me first of all show this video where Kenneth Okonkwo has come for, the governors that defected, and also the Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself. In fact, the way we describe Bola Ahmed Tinubu 2 years achievements, the thing just they very funny.
Now, let me tell you something about this defection. The worst from the opposition is moving into the ruling party. The best from the ruling party is coming to the opposition. And I give you example with the governor of Akwa Ibom State. His commissioner on information and strategy, he said, my political orientation is rooted in principle, and I've long opposed APC's ideology and the conduct, which stands is reaffirmed by majority of Nigerians. This is the summary of it. His own political career rooted in principle, thereby telling the whole world that his governor is unprincipled in this move. And he said the ideology and conduct of APC have been rejected by Nigerians, and this is what it is. Can you imagine a whole governor coming out to say, I can't fight like me, girl. Hey, in 2027, I want a smooth sail. I still love PDP. That's transgenderic. This is a man that behaves like a man that has the genitals of a woman.
Okay.
Can you imagine what on earth? You don't want to fight like me, you want to be a governor like me.
The views of Kenneth Okonkwo, we have to go.
His predecessor had not fought for him, fought APC, and fought for him, he wouldn't be governor. And now look at this transgenderic governor,
You're repeating that point.
No.
Okay, we have to say thank you very much.
Men and women, they are very fantastic people. I started with them from Nollywood. Bold, beautiful, and brave. Look at the commissioner.
Okay.
But I can't say whether the man is behaving. He's just a political transgender. Is it not a shame that after 2 years in office, the only picture of achievement this president has is the one he's dancing on one bed with the wife? That is the one that they are showing.
That's not correct.
No, that is the one they are showing in the billboards.
But that's not correct, Mr. Okonkwo.
Now I will take you and show you. Dance, as in after 2 years in office.
And that's not by I know that's not by the government, the billboard you're referring to.
Yeah.
But Mr. Okonkwo, we have to leave the conversation here tonight.
I'm the
so
president.
I could sit for hours listening to Uncle Kenneth Okonkwo talk. Now, you see this whole thing where he said the best brain in the APC, they're actually the ones, moving to the opposition. I think I am going to believe that based on the video I'm going to show you next before I talk about what Kenneth Okonkwo said. In addition to the video, I will show you in a jiffy. Now, one of those insiders in the coalition, said something which like I said, I'll show you the video shortly. He said that there are people within the APC that is even funding the coalition. And then it brings to mind something that Senator Ali Ndume said yesterday in his interview. He said, I pity Tinubu, who thinks, that having endorsement from all the governors is going to save him. He should look at Jonathan, who had 22 governors back in his own time, endorsed him, and at the end of the day, he lost to Muhammadu Buhari at the poll. So let me first show you the video and then we'll be back.
There are about 6 to 7 APC governors that are funding the coalition. Go and check and go and do your investigation.
Right now.
Exactly.
Incumbent government.
That is exactly what happened when the NPDP now joined APC in 2015. You understand? And don't forget also, you are talking about, you see, in a political arrangement, you are free to have group interests. And that's what you are talking about. In PDP, you have the Atiku group, you have the Wike group, and the others. The same thing with even APC. You have the CPC group. You have the AD, which later became the AC group. That's the Tinubu group.
Yeah.
They are still there. So those blocks are still there in politics. So it's not even an issue to bother about. You understand? And I'm telling you that it is part of the strategy in politics. You don't
find the part of the opposition.
Exactly.
That's
you don't release all your arsenals on day one, and you have to keep some at the strategic moments. Then you strike. There are lots of issues that are happening. That even within the APC, there are those who are not happy with the way things are going. You should provide even a level playing field. That is a democracy. Let even people contest with the president. When he became president and won the ticket in APC, he contested with other people. So if anybody feels so desired, those that are in APC that want to contest, that's their own business anyway. They can go and contest, you understand? But they should allow some level playing field for those who are interested. The endorsements can go in, but I don't think people should be suppressed. People should be denied the opportunity to contest, even with a sitting president.
Hearing Kenneth Okonkwo say that, made me recall the interview of Ali Ndume, and also what Malam Nasir El-Rufai said a couple of days ago, where he sounded like he's so sure, and he said, I can tell you the truth that Tinubu is going nowhere come 2027. So it is certainly true that, there are people within the APC, just like what the man said, who are aggrieved, who are not happy with the way things are going. And then if at all they are funding the coalition thing, I'm telling you the truth, I will not be surprised. Like I said yesterday in a video I did, I said, the same way the APC is busy plotting, that is how the members of coalition, that's how they are also busy plotting. And that's how Nigerians are also busy plotting. So at the end of the day, now who plots past now ain't gonna matter. And I sure do know that, okay, it is the one that the people decide to plot, that is going to have the upper hand. That's if the people stand at the end of the day to say, no, what we want is what we are going to have. Truly, this Tinubu 2 years has been a very rough 2 years for us, and I do not see any improvement. And I do not want to even, I'm forcing myself to believe that there's going to be an improvement. But judging by even the kind of expenses, irrelevant expenses, allocation of funds to on irrelevant things, it's enough for me to conclude that even the next year we are not going to see any improvements in the economy. What have they actually put on ground, for us to see that in the next 3-4 years things will work? Which industry they don't try to revive? Which employment they don't even try to create? So these are the things that you will see that will make you believe that, okay, even the next year up until 2027, everything where these people they promise say they will do or is going to get better, or at the end of the day now just wash. So all these defections where people they move, it is not even my problem. Like I keep saying it, I love the way that Uncle Kenneth Okonkwo describe it. Like seriously, it seems like he just really did very, very funny. Now really how did he even put again? Transgenderic. Exactly what I've been saying. You find people, who don't even have the balls. Even if you are being threatened, Instead of all of them to gather their heads and say this is not going to happen and start rooting for electoral reforms, like I've always suggested, join the youth who are calling for electoral reform, who are saying rig election and die 2027, to be chanting the mantra. What they are busy doing is to move to the other political party so that it will be easy. Do you know how ridiculous it sounded? Yes, he said the truth, but it just made him sound so stupid. In fact, he's the one person that was bold enough to say the truth. Now why even happy small self, because he no call using people as excuse. He was able to say the truth, unlike Sheriff and other people that are preparing to defect, using the people to lie, as if the people where you represent na kindergarten in the day. He was bold to say the truth, but it sounded foolish. How can you say you are moving because of your smooth sailing, instead of now to put head and say, oh, this thing cannot stand, this kind of pressure, this kind of intimidation cannot work. There is no way all these governors will join force with the youth, with well-meaning Nigerians for electoral reform, and that thing will not happen. There is no way. We will surely get it. But what are we seeing? Instead of them to do so, they are moving away. That's exactly what they're doing. They don't even can't get the balls. Now, Kenneth Okonkwo just hit the nail. Exactly what I talked the other day. You are moving to where? You go shock these people when Nigerians when Nigerians go really turn against them seriously. 2027, ready to die, but to make sure the person where they vote for, then they go declare winner. You go shock these people. You know, we have very shameless set of humans as leaders. Very, very shameless. Most of them. No integrity whatsoever. Me, I know for sure that there are people within the APC, even the APC no get peace, there are people within that APC that are so upset and would want to sit the Tinubu out. Then they, even within that AC where even talk, say will be within that Tinubu blog or whatsoever, before they form the APC. Let me tell you, they are there. They're there. Do you know how it has been so, uneasy for people to make ends meet? People who they save now to buy car. Who they save to buy car. Now, the first thing first, na survivor. Everybody they get different survivor instincts, because we have one clueless person in power. And somebody just went to visit him during the salad break and came back and say his brain wavelength is something else. In here, Oshishi. Statements that warrant you being hit with a stick on the head. Kai, no. Let me read that part of what HURIWA said.
The Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, HURIWA, has raised strong concerns over what it describes as an elaborate and systemic attempt by Tinubu to rig the 2027 general election by seizing control of the Independent National Electoral Commission through partisan appointments. According to HURIWA, the appointment of no members of the ruling All Progressive Congress as INEC national commissioners is a deliberate strategy to compromise the electoral body's independence and predetermine outcome in favor of the ruling party. The rights group also alleged that governors from the opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP) seeking re-election are being coerced into defecting to the APC as part of a wider plan to hand Tinubu and his party a sweeping victory before a single vote is cast. This explains why the national chairman of the APC, Alhaji Abdullahi Ganduje, confidently declared that his party will dominate over two-thirds of the states and maintain its grip on the National Assembly, said Emmanuel Onwubiko, HURIWA's national coordinator. In a statement issued Monday, HURIWA warned that the recent political turmoil in Rivers State, including the unconstitutional suspension of Governor Siminalayi Fubara, was not an isolated incident but part of a broader scheme to install pro-APC forces ahead of 2027 by illegally staging a regime change in Rivers State and unconstitutionally suspending the Governor Siminalayi Fubara Nigeria so as to force him into a sudden surrender is a well-coordinated strategy by the APC to rig the results of the 2027 election in Rivers State even before the first ballot is cast, HURIWA said. The organization expressed concern over what is described as well-funded and carefully planned electoral sabotage, urging civil society organizations to rise up and counter the creeping manipulation of democratic institutions. These public outbursts of the hand-picked national chairman of the All Progressive Congress that more PDP governors and lawmakers will move into APC soon is not a fluke, but a revelation of the inner workings of the national ruling party and their electoral strategy for 2027, the group added. HURIWA called for vigilance and resistance from citizens and pro-democracy groups, warning that democracy in Nigeria is at risk if the current trend continues unchecked.
Coming to me as a surprise? No. Look, I've known all this while that they started plan for 2027 after the swearing in. And now one of the reasons why you say they don't do anything for government. Rather than focus, like Alex Otti, rather than focus on delivering good governance, what will they see? Now all this rubbish. That's what we see. It don't take. Look at the Edo now. Not be Wike's cousin, and they as wreck. Wike's first cousin. That's Wike's cousin. Go to other states. You find out the same thing. So this thing began way back. If they don't change Yakubu, it's because they know that Yakubu will still do their bid. And yeah, of course, Yakubu is still doing it. So all this thing is INEC and APC working together. APC na INEC na APC. So this is not coming to me as a shock. But where my concern is, I see they maintain, is what next for us? How do we do it? This was what David Hunde tweeted a few days ago, where he talked about strategic violence. How we can actually have something like that. It is not enough for us to carry the voters' card to go vote. So I was talking about plan A, plan B, plan C, just in case we don't get this electoral reform thing. Just in case. So how do we do about the votes? Both at the polling units and of course at the collation center. And then what is the plan of all these individuals who are talking about the collation? Even though I'm not banking on them, but you know, what's their plan? Especially when it comes to, you know, the agents. Where we say that then go there at the various polling units. So that when things happen, some of the errors or mistakes that they noticed in 2023, they know it no go happen. It no go repeat itself again. HURIWA, Nigerians, HURIWA self no say Nigerians they are aware of all these things. It's not coming to shock as to a lot of Nigerians. I don't know about others, but you see me, it's not. And I'm sure that to so many Nigerians too, a higher percentage, 70% of Nigerians, is not coming to them as a shock, this revelation. Nothing where this people sabi pass rigging of election. And then someone will come out and tell me how Tinubu is smart, how his brainwave length is out of this world. Now turn and I go punish all these stomach infrastructure politicians. Thank you so much for watching. Kindly do leave your opinion in the comment section. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Click on the notification bell the moment you subscribe. That way you get to know as soon as I upload videos. So if you have opinion, you know, suggestion on how, you know, Nigerians can beat INEC, beat APC ahead of 2027, please kindly do leave it in the comments section. Now, thank you once again. God bless you immensely. Do enjoy the rest of your Tuesday and see you guys in my other videos.